This video though, we're going to be looking at maybe five cool wee tricks and effects that you can apply really easily in Premiere Pro. Just wee silly things that can kind of give that little bit of an edge, but you know, every single thing you can learn is a little bit better experience, knowledge of how everything works. So let's just get stuck straight into that. Okay, how's it going? Welcome. Today we're just going to be doing a few wee quick tricks and tips that can help your editing processes in Premiere maybe come along a little bit smoother and quicker, and just give you that little bit of more help in parts that might be kind of tricky. So if we hit play here first, we'll just scroll through and see what's first. Okay, so blur face. So as you can see, we've got this guy and he's walking and his face is blurred out the whole time. So if we go to effect controls, what I've done is from the effects panel, I've gone and typed in blur and got Gaussian blur. Double click that or drag it and drop it onto the layer, and then from there I've used the free draw, Bezier or the pen tool. And if we go to the start and we click onto mask 1 just to show, all I've done is drawn a wee quick simple circle around his face, and then hit this track selected mask forward button, and what that's done is that's moved forward and generated all these additional spots where, and we can see here, so here's actually a perfect example. So we can see here that this isn't quite doing what we wanted the whole way. So if we just manipulate that manually, we just tighten that all up a tiny bit and then go back to track selected. What that'll do is that'll use that new reference point that we've created as the reference point to continue on through the rest. So if we look, we see that jumps and it covers that up again. So also I've just changed the mask feather. Mask feather default is at 10. And if we click off that, we can see that's kind of harsh. We got this hard line the whole way around, but if we increase the mask feather, we can see that smooths that out an awful lot and just makes things a lot easier to kind of look at. So if we just run that, you'll see that his face is blurred out, unrecognizable for the most part, and that'll do nicely. Alright, so next we've got adjustment layers. Now, good thing about adjustment layers is that we're able to apply global changes to multiple clips. So these two clips I've put in, if I turn this layer off, we can see they're actually both colored clips, but I want to make them both black and white. So rather than going into every single clip and going to our Lumetri color and coming down here and changing saturation and all that sort of stuff to kind of get the effect we're looking for, we can go apply an adjustment layer, make that the size of all the clips we want affected, and just go in and we can tweak all of these little things, which will then apply to everything that the adjustment layer is over. So if I move this adjustment layer back, we can see that the color is now back. But if I move it over, we can see that that's actually covering everything again now. Now, if you're not sure how to make an adjustment layer, if you're in your panel, in your project, you can right click, new item, and adjustment layer. It'll default it to the size and the frames of the sequence that's already in there. Just hit OK and that drops it in. Another way you can do it is this little icon here, new item, adjustment layer, exact same window. And again, up here you can go File, New, and then down here we've got adjustment layer. So you can do it that way as well. So there's 3 different ways you can do it. All of them give you the same result, and you're able to just apply a global change to all of your clips. So here, this is just a few keyboard shortcut ones. These can be quite handy. So we've got Control, Command, and K, which will just add a cut. So if we look down here at this clip, if I press Control and K, that's just added an immediate cut there in between those 2 clips. Super handy, super quick, really good one to keep using. Shift and delete is ripple delete. So rather than going to your clip that you want rid of, right clicking and going all the way up here to ripple delete every time you want something done like that, shift and delete and it's gone, and it shifts everything across then to replace Again, super handy. And this is just a couple of extra keyboard ones. So we've got T, which will bring up the type tool. So if we hit T here, you can see the cursor changes the type tool. If we hit C down here, we'll see that that turns into a razor blade for cutting things. A gives us this double arrow, which basically if we click on that, that will select everything. Okay, so G, we'll use G on this one because we've actually got an audio track on this one. And that brings up the audio gain box. And this allows us to either set a default gain for everything, adjust this one clip, or normalize all of the max peaks to a certain thing, or just normalize all peaks to a certain level. We can select all of them and hit G, and that will then make that global change to all of them. Next, we've got black bars. Okay, so this is another pretty useful one to use, and really quite simple and quick to put into place. So if we go up to effects and we're looking for crop, there you go, under transform and crop, you can double click, you can drag it onto your clip, whatever way works best for you. And all you're going down to is changing this top and bottom to give yourself whatever cinematic kind of look that you're after. So if you put it in as keyframes, then you can get a bit of animation for it happening. But if you just want them on the entire time, you can just change the values. You can remove the keyframes completely by just clicking on the clocks and just change the value to 6, and that'll apply that then for the entire clip with no animation, whatever it is that you're after. But it's as simple as that, and that can obviously be done for left and right as well. If you need those brought in for any particular reason, you can do that there as well. Okay, and finally we've got export image. So this can be very helpful, especially if you want to export a part of your sequence and throw it into Photoshop to do some tweaks or anything like that with it. So just drag your scrubber along to where you want it to be, and then this wee icon here, export frame, click that. You can rename it if you want. If you heap this as import into project, that'll bring it in here into your project, and you can change the path here as to where you actually want it to be saved. So you can change your format as well. If you want PNG, usually works best. And if we go back to our main page, we'll see this is our screenshot. And we can go into the properties and we can see that that is the PNG file. There we go. 5 quick, easy, simple tricks, tools, whatever, help you in your process of editing. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll catch you in the next one.